The summary of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Tables of contents. Intro. The Rich Dad Poor Dad by Rober Kiyosaki starts with Robert explaining how he grew up with two fathers, his real dad, whom he calls Poor Dad, and his best friend's dad, whom he calls Rich Dad. He explains how it was difficult because the two would teach different things to Robert and talk about opposite topics. One dad would say, get good grades and find a safe, secure company to work for. The other dad said to own the company. His decision to listen to Rich Dad changed his life, and now you will watch a summary of his book. In the first lesson, Rober Kiyosaki starts off by asking Poor Dad to teach him how to be rich. He didn't know, but he recommended asking his best friend's dad to teach him. Mike, the best friend, was also interested in making money. Mike's dad, the one he calls Rich Dad, made them a deal. 10 cents an hour to work at one of Rich Dad's convenience stores. In exchange, Rich Dad would teach them. Even by 1956 pay standards, 10 cents was low. They agreed. Weeks passed, and Robert decided to quit. Only 10 cents an hour, and Rich Dad hasn't even come over to see them. Robert told Mike, and he said to meet with his dad on Saturday, so Robert went to see him. When Robert started criticizing him, Rich Dad explained that Robert was blaming him for his problems, giving up every time life pushes, playing it safe. If you blame yourself, you can change yourself and learn. But if you blame others, you will have to change others. Quitting for another job won't solve the problem, but your brain will. It didn't stop there that Saturday morning. His poor dad wanted to teach him to study hard and get good grades, and find a safe, secure job with a big company. Rich Dad wanted to teach Robert how to make money so he can make it work for him. He explained how when it comes to money, most people play it safe. It's fear that makes people work, not passion. How does fear control your emotions? Going back to Robert's real dad, the poor, educated one, he got a good education, which got him a high paying job. However, he still struggled financially because he never learned anything about money. To add on, he believes in working for money. Fear controls people. Fear motivates us to work hard. Then, after we get paid, greed gets us thinking about all the things money can buy. The rat race is set. Rich Dad states the pattern is to get up, go to work, pay bills. Get up, go to work, pay bills. Their lives are run by two emotions, fear and greed. Offer them more money and they will continue the cycle by increasing their spending. This is what I call the rat race. If you don't study money, money will trap you in the rat race. You might ask, then what should I do? There is another way. The first step is to tell the truth about how you're feeling. A lot of people don't do that. Instead, they feel the fear of not having money. People react when they should think. The emotions do their thinking. Instead of telling the truth about how they feel, they react to their feelings. Fear is running their lives. They hope more money will stop their fear, but it doesn't. So they get up, work for money, pay bills over and over again. Money is then controlling their emotions. That is one of life's biggest traps. Being rich doesn't solve the problem. The other emotion is desire. People desire all the goods money can bring, and the joy only lasts for a short amount of time. Then they need more money for more joy. They keep on working to eliminate the fear inside them, but money cannot do that. Why not? The rich are afraid to lose all the goods money has brought them. Money will just bring more fear and desire. It'll make you work harder. They work for money instead of letting money work for you. If you want to be rich, you need to know the difference between an asset and a liability. The rich buy assets while the poor and the middle class buy liabilities that they think are assets. Assets put money into your pocket while liabilities take money out. To understand the difference between the two, you need to understand the cash flow of the two. This diagram shows the cash flow pattern of an asset and a liability, bottom left. Assets generate income while liabilities create expenses. The arrows represent the cash flow. Families are poor not because of their job, but because they spend money on liabilities instead of assets. This is the cash flow pattern of the rich, middle class, and the poor. Bottom right. There is a flaw in many people's thinkings. The flaw is that the thought that money can solve any problem. More money might actually accelerate the problem. Rober Kiyosaki states, money only accelerates the cash flow pattern in your head. If your pattern is to spend everything you get, most likely an increase of cash will just result in an increase of spending. Since students leave school without financial skills, many people pursue their careers successfully then struggle later financially in their life. Educated Dad's financial statements show someone trapped in the rat race. Rich Dad's financial statement demonstrates someone investing and lowering liabilities. Bottom left. Rich Dad's asset columns makes more than needed to cover his expenses, and his liability column is low. Therefore, he gets richer. The asset column continues to grow and produces income with it. This diagram shows why the middle class struggle and why the rich get richer. Bottom right. The rich buy assets which generates them income, and then they treat their liabilities like liabilities. The rich get their main income from their wages, purchase liabilities, and treat them like assets. If they get a generous amount of cash, they'll likely just increase their spending. The poor only have expenses. You need to understand assets versus liabilities to succeed. Mind your own business. If you decide to read the book, Rober Kiyosaki really means on raising your asset column. Many focus on raising their income column. When people say, I need a raise, they are trying to raise their income column. If you want to be financially secure, focus on raising your asset column, which will generate you income. Focusing on your income column will get you working for money. Buying asset will make money work for you. Buy real assets, not liabilities. Real assets generate you income even when they're not there. Some examples are businesses, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, etc. If you want to be financially secure, mind your own business. All the information came from the book, including the diagrams. Thank you for all your support.